You a very nice story. Would you like to listen? There's one great Dharma practitioner, and it's called the Jetsamala. He arrived one night at a monastery and lay down to sleep in the front of door of a cell, one chalet. There was one chalet. In the cell, or in the chalet, there's one very elegant monk, handsome and seemingly practitioner, and like this, who lived in the cell, has lying in the bed. He's thinking about how he was going to sell the carcass, or the body of the one cow. Very funny story. He has one cow, and he needed to slaughter and to sell. He has a plan to have slaughter, and the next day he want to sell it. And then it's like he get that much for the head. That means he's divided the cow's body and to make the 4 or 5 or 6, 7 limbs, like part. And then he's thinking how much I will put price. Because some is part very delicious, some part is a lot of fat, some part is only meat. Therefore, there's many different parts. He should blend his worth that much, shoulder plant, in the cow's shoulder plant with rib and arms or something. How much that he need to put price. And also the shoulder itself, how much he need to put price. How much for the knuckle and chains, knuckles and like kind of the part of the leg, or in the arm, hand, into this, like he divided all the cow's cup to. He want to calculate the value of the each and every part of the cow, inside and outside, out. Then of course it's difficult to sleep, and by daybreak, he couldn't to sleep. He had not slept. Then he winks. He slept a wink, but he had it all worked out, except the price to the would ask for the tails. He's like half an hour, 20 minutes he couldn't sleep. A week out, but week, couldn't. And he whole night is concerning. And sometimes these dreams, often happened. Particularly some practitioners has such a kind of attached to some things, materials, or positions, or belongings, and some object to have very much desire attached. And then his mind is completely occupied. no sleep, cannot meditate, cannot work, and day and night concerning that. Even you listen to the teachings during you are maybe in the present moment on the front of the camera, but your body is only there. Mind is concerning something else. Terrible, isn't it? And like this, and then is sometimes body is weak, mind is problems. And that moment we need to cut the clingings. If, for example, I have disattachment, this mandala, very beautiful. Maybe how I can to get these mandalas. So strong desire. But maybe I can't. Maybe someone. And then it's like I'm just the day and night to concern these mandalas. Useless. I may be in the camera and what do you say? I don't know. And also during the session meditations and thinking mandala. Then, like this. And also through the angers. Someone's angry, someone's on the someone's. You know. What you know? About the anger. And then it's like inside burning. Like kind of the Thai chili. So much burning, like kind of the wasabi. And constantly that difficult to eat, difficult to sleep. And day and night, constantly that. Of course, when you listen, teaching, or practice Dharma, all the time it's inside burning, almost biting yourself. And then what is less? In that moment, we need Dharma. No, now someone's disturbed to me. Wonderful, thank you very much. In that moment, am I practitioner or not? Something is awful, unpleasant things. You have news. That moment, we need to think, check the mind. Are you really practitioner or not? And this kind of the disturbed emotion is coming, and then now need to work. Good, it's job, is got it. Become more kind, and according to desire attachment, completely cut it. Your wisdom is a knife, is very, very sharp. The link lasso of the desire attachment completely cut. Release something. Mind is very happy. And also anger is like to rest like this. Maybe sometimes this kind of happened. Criticize, some negative news, some is like different. And that moment, then to work is wonderful. But we cannot work like same as this monk. We cannot practice, we cannot study, we cannot listen to the Dharma. Me too. When I'm angry, I cannot talk. Ugly, of course I'm ugly, and more ugly. Nose back, mouth like this, everywhere is a ring. Then it's like this inside. Then all this positive thoughts is gone. Negative thoughts is incredible. It's coming like kind of crowding, one by one. Then, at that moment, really to check the practitioner or not, Are you really monk, lama, or practitioner? You are a follower of the dharma? And certainly it's a little relaxed. Thank you. I can appreciate dharma. Sometimes in my areas, there are some guys, inconceivable brave heart. Maybe if they don't practice dharma, they are really, it's a really horrible. Their anger is enormous. I can just tell you, one is a terrible guy. Would you like to hear? There's one challenge. One guy was very angry and he wanted to kill to his opposite. He came to his enemy's home with anger. Then the guy is not there, and his wife, and this guy has 2 kids and some yak horse. And he arrived, he looked around, he talked to his wife, where is your husband? And she said something, and he killed this lady and killed the 2 children and to kill all the animals, even the horse, dog, and he ran. And how it can do these persons? Later on, someone say, why you do like this? You are horrible. He said, what can I do my anger? I cannot to control. Regret very much. And at that moment, if someone is really to make a piece his body, he never be afraid like this. But this sort of the guys, some practice dharma, they become very peace. They never ever killed. Their anger is coming, they immediately control. Then is we appreciate dharma very much. Anger is bring into the path. Anger is bring enlightenment. Desire attachment bring into the path and bring enlightenment. Therefore, then is disturbing emotion not occupied. But if you cannot control, like this monk, even he cannot to sleep whole night, need to think about. Only he cannot to put price, tail, everything's very ugly. Thinking about that, this is a history. He looks like a monk, living in the monastery, but he's going to slaughter one cow, his own cow, and he's going to sell this meat. It's not very nice history, yeah. But anyway, like this, then he got up, stayed away, completed his devotion and made dharma offerings. Of course, they have some in the monasteries surrounded, everybody practice in the morning. I have this experience. Myself, I'm a most laziness, never practice. But when I be in the monastery, universities, you can't to sleep there, embarrassed. Everybody in the morning, 4, 5 o'clock, they wake up. They really is wherever you go or inside, they practice. Then you choose to relax, sleep your natural bombs, and very embarrassed. No choice. You need to follow up something. And therefore, this monk is, of course, there's need to follow up and to kind of the morning practice finish it and offering dharma. As he stepped outside, he came across the Dzogchen Ranyak, the yogi, still sleeping, and disdainfully railed at him. That means it's like kind of the just nothing, It's in the front there is one beggar, looks like practitioner, but why you asleep in the front of my door? And to say, you you claim to be a Dharma practitioner, he says, like very insulted way, you can to say, like a kind of the contentmently, I don't know, content not. Insultedly, it's better to, like kind of the impolitely. You all the time say you are yogi practitioners. What happens? And here you are still sleeping at the house or the here. Don't you do any practice or recitation at all? And of course, Jetson Malaripa has clairvoyance, very dangerous to reading others' mind. And he replied to say, I don't always sleepy like this, replied Jetson Malaripa to this monk. What is the problems? I have one issue, very important issue. What? You have it's just that I spend the whole night thinking about how to sell a cow of the mind that is going to be slaughtered today. And therefore, I'm whole night thinking, counting, putting prayers. Then I got to sleep a little bit whole ago. And so exposing to the monks hidden shortcoming, he left. That means direct this speech shot in the monkey's mind. No, sorry, monk's mind. Then he's become very embarrassed. Surely this practitioner or something, maybe he understood my mind. Maybe not, maybe yes. But anyway, he did whole night and he left. And like the monk in the history, those whose life at the moment are devoted only to the business, spent day and night, totally involved in their calculations. And like this is the example of the monks, lamas, or someone practitioners, to making the business is quite source of the delusion. And like this. And when we can become the practitioner of the Dharma, each kind of this coming crow into the mind. For example, like a kind of the, we can say, according to the disattachment. Maybe we have such disattachment to the belonging things and material things, to families, friends, and this world. And when we be together, very important, and according to the Dharma, to taking care, to cherish, to be cheerful, love, send compassion, and like something. And sometimes there is the separations. Maybe some families to give up, or some families died, some lose their positions, and maybe in these situations, maybe it's a terrible pain situation is coming. That moment, then practitioners, nothing occurring, no regret, no more anger, nothing. That is impermanent. Yesterday like this, today is like this, tomorrow we don't know. I know. What do you know? I know impermanent. You know impermanence? Yes, like this. Everything is impermanent. And myself is permanent. You are the impermanent. My belonging is impermanent. My family is impermanent. It's very changeable. And look, for example, today our Dharma sister is gone. And then is practitioners, families, these situations, no cry, no tear. no regret, understand impermanent, during the alive, wonderful relationship, and some is this kind of understand the impermanent. What is needed to something? More need to kindness, more need to love, warm-hearted, virtue, like this. And also is anger is sometimes disturbed. Some is like we have natural, some characteristics. And sometimes our disturbed emotion of the anger is terrible, terrible. And it's also occurring. Difficult to practice, as I say often. Then is someone disturbed, direct, maybe criticize. And you haven't got much. I have a lot criticize. Direct, indirect. And like particularly for my titles. Someone is like called the Patrul Rinpoche. I am very much myself is sad. Really? Patrul Rinpoche is like this. Oh, poor. And someone says, this is fake, you are not. Okay, it's a wonderful criticism. It's true. But direct, indirect, some unpleasant criticism coming, that time is what you do. But Dharma helps very, very much. Not only that, sometimes belongings someone's take. In my life, it's once completely make me poor. I was once in the train station, buying ticket. I haven't got any kind of money, no bank, nothing. I'm carrying a little bit, and I paid, and behind someone took all whatever I have. First, very angry, and ran to the police. They took my money and everything. The police is sorry, désolé. It so often happen. You need to take care. And it's kind of shaking. And they made now? Wonderful. That's great, because if someone's begging me, I never give. They took. Good. But poor, but it's no problem. I can to survive in this world. It's of course no problem. Like this kind of situations, anger is coming, and what you can do. Then is Dharma's help very much. That is also impermanent. And also you not die. Surely you can in this world. And you can do something. It's okay. And once this kind of happened, and suddenly someone's in my backhand. I catched behind there's one lady, and she's in my back, and holding like this. First time I want a little bit strong to look, and she was very embarrassed, and then sent back, go back. But she didn't took any things. But I was regret because it's strong, cool, who catched. And not very good. Why I need to do that? And like this, and any kind of these situations we need to control. That's wonderful. If not, then maybe it's like involvement. Negative involvement. Also negative involves negative. Negative is really negative. Negative is really our worst enemy. That's it. And the Bodhisattva Shantadeva, he said, you can't to destroy the external enemies. You should to destroy the inner your enemies, which is your disturbed emotions. And inner the enemies can destroy to you life and lifetime. And like this, last time I saw in a Hong Kong demonstrations, one guy he's in the palace went to in the middle and demonstrating to the Chinese. Say, you can kill me in this my body. You can destroy my body, but you are never ever can kill my mind. That is kind of wonderful things. Is any kind of, if we can to practice, maybe even someone's to destroy this contaminated body, if we can to practice, mind is, nobody cannot kill. If we can to say, who's the winner? If someone destroyed, give more kind of compassion, love, and like then you are the winner. And generally it's like, oh, someone's beat me, someone's did me, I need to revenge. You know, it is like kind of, in the word of my perfect teacher, which chapter, maybe, I don't know, maybe you know very well. There's 2 geshes competitions. And then it's like one geshe, he early morning, come back. He's told to the attendants, hey, make nice tea. I have very nice news, says. And attendants run to in the kitchen to make nice tea. Okay, la, geshe la, and I what do you have news? You know, our challenge, this geshe is now not anymore monks. And that is like Dromtomba or some other lamas, they understood. Then is compared who is the worst. Someone is give up monks' vows, like kind of lay person. One is still there is to be the geshe. But the lama said this gossip and rivalry, this to be the geshe monk, the worst negative things, then someone's give a go away. Like this, the mind is the inconceivable creation of the negative thing. Anyway, this is just nonsense chat, the story. And the negative emotions are coming, and to make the occupied or preoccupied our mind totally, utterly, purely, not purely, I don't know. And then there is the calculation. Calculation is many calculations. When we have disattachment, we have calculation. How I can to get in, yes. When we have angry, there's a calculation. How I can to make problems. And also it's ignorant calculation, confusions, and running around different ways. And they are so engrossed in the delusion that even when the death comes, they will die still as deluded as ever. We should think about that. In the death process that we more deluded. Who can to help? Nobody's. We need to help ourselves. And during the life, all that we can to spend, we are under the disturbing emotion, absolutely same as me. Carrying disattachment, anger, ignorant, jealousy, and proud, arrogant, so on. And then this delusion is go on, and certainly death process start. Then more confused. And once I went to one person, he's kind of practitioner, and to ask me, can you come? I went to their talk. What can I do now? I'm 20 years into Buddhist, become Buddhist, but I have very different doubt, blah, 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 like this. But now I have definitive going to die. I'm in the hospice. Now my mind is very much turmoil. And the doctor says, this week, next week. But according to the medicine, he just looks like a normal person, he or she, I don't know. But then he started to collect the text, and I checked his book. There's some Quran, Bible, some in the Hindu, and of course there's Dharma. Now, each one he's reading is not trust, not certainty, he hasn't got any. And then it's like, what can I do now? Then I said, during your life, you follow up. Did you listen? Do you have some instructions? I don't know. And sometimes during the discussions, Dharma, he has very strange questions. For example, teaching times, how I can to be challenged. teaching like this, but I want to, it's like, you teaching say like this, but maybe it's not correct. If I find it's incorrect, I want to point out them. This person like this, of course, then it's slowly he has a little bit confidence, Dharma, because he cannot dispute. But at that moment, very much confusions. Sometimes we happen, surely ourselves. And then it's like maybe external, outside the dissolution start. Doctors announce it, say, sorry, you need to prepare. Your sickness is not getting better. You cannot do nothing. Said, what are you going? Maybe your hairs and kind of am I going to die? What can I do in my positions? I love this, that. And I'm angry, this, that. I don't know, it's a lot of ignorance. And then diluted confusion, turmoil, and mind is running around. Then huge calculations. And this situation, who can to help? At that moment, we need to do the pith instructions. Moment, something inside, proof your mind. Teachings really need that moment. In the Karma Limba says, and that moment, please, fortunate students, fortunate one, cut your clinging in this world. Because this world's appearance is slowly evaporating. It's a kind of go away, like kind of the disappearing. You're losing. Even your disattachment is useless to cut. And to say it's like my body, whoever to burn, to put on the ground, give birds, whatever. Some practitioners afterwards, please don't cry, don't make any preacher, don't need, whatever you want, my crop, do it. And cut it, clingings. My body, my belongings, whoever took. Maybe you're a billionaires, maybe you're millionaires, maybe you're 1,000 nurse, maybe you're 100 nurse, maybe 10 nurse, maybe single miners, maybe it's like you're 100 million electronic gadgets owners, but maybe you have 100 house, maybe big families. It's like sometimes it's like this, but that moment, useless to think. Fade away this word, think about the next step, next path, cutting everything to have something dissolution. External dissolution, how I can study it. Now occurring externally, outside dissolution. Now inside dissolution. Maybe if you have pith instruction, you don't need to go through that. Someone immediately sit like this, gone. Temporary. Or someone don't need to make sound, it's gone. Someone just lie down, it's gone. You don't need to go to this process, horrible. Yesterday we said the violent of the death. You don't need to. When you have pith instructions, it's necessary times very smoothly go. You want to like something to do that. That moment, you need pith instruction. You need education in your mind. We need them. Nobody cannot help. I give you guarantee. Or maybe if you have faith, devotion, maybe something is probably a little bit, I'm really not sure. And for example, if you have faith in God, maybe, but God is what? Maybe you can to say it's like believe Buddha, deities. But you haven't got certainties. And you have the devotion a little Buddha. You during the lifetimes praise the Buddha, think of me a little inside, you say he's India guy. He's really is like enlightened, I don't know. Yeah, okay. And you are like kind of prayed your teachers, my teacher, but I don't know, is she or him. And it's also when we meditate in the top of birth, it's not police, it's not direct. I won't transform Guru Rinpoche deities. There's doubt. And then it's like death process start, appearances should to be deities or the teacher or like what you, or God, doesn't matter. And that moment, whatever you have hallucinations, and this hallucination should to be nice hallucination. Maybe deity, maybe Buddha, Bodhisattva, maybe God. And that's kind of the sending message to you. Fortunate ones. Now is your death process start. You have different hallucinations. Now you need to remember, yes, thank you. Maybe dissolved into you, and you're like the realization, understanding, sense peace, comfortable, immediately dissolved into your natural reality. That is the end of the maybe your samsara. But you have such a kind of the doubt. You didn't study not very well. Everything is doubt. Everything has kind of the hesitation. Or hesitation is not negative. But I'd say all the time hesitate. I hesitated, maybe yes, maybe not. It's negative. Don't know, choose. And maybe it's the front of the dissolution start. Maybe it's a teachers or someone coming in the front below of the pillow. Say now it's a dear or darling or fortunate call you. Says, can you remember that this now is the time you should meditate? What this person going to tell me? I do not. This kind of error, obstacles coming, it doesn't come inside. And then it's inside we have this kind of feeling. I think you have, I have. If when I'm thirsty, when I'm hungry times, maybe externally I say, I'm not hungry. Someone says, are you hungry? And artificially, like politicians, well, it's okay, I'm okay. And are you thirsty? I'm okay. But inside maybe very much. Like this, inside is suffering and turmoil, but hiding. It's okay. But death process start, there is such a different hallucination, collapse the individual, your life. And that moment is like universal collapsing, your individuals who can to help. And inconceivable turmoil, inconceivable terrible happened. And it comes from the four elements, water, earth. And that is like, that moment we need education. We need more approach at the nature of your mind. Maybe this death process of the expression or like kind of the turmoils, maybe it is not different than your nature of the mind. Nature of the mind is not death, not birth. Maybe you maintain like this. Maybe your turmoil is like kind of your cinema. Maybe you be this person you can to watch. Ah, wonderful, nice. I want to experience this. I want to send it to some other sentient beings. We are like kind of experience to watch, or how do you say, films. Then you tell to the others. Others a little excited. Like this, the film of the death process, intermediate bardos, and bardo of the coming, so on. You go through the experience, everything. Then you make rebirth yourself wonderful, and then you can to telling to the others, maybe he's a help. But at the moment, we are not like this. We are all the time is follow up our disturbed emotions. Very much mind diluted, doubt, hesitation, uncertainty, and they're like kind of according to our disattachment, according to our arrogant, according to our proud, according to our hesitated. And then it's like this confusion. Then what can we do? Sorry. Someone says, what can I do? I have this and practice Dharma, or more practice Dharma, I have more. Then what can we do? And we follow our own ideas. We don't listen teaching of Dharma, don't listen to the teacher, and never follow up. And sometimes we follow up, but huge expectations. I meditated, I not become. This morning I meditate 1 picosecond. It's a lot. I not become the enlightenment and complain to the Buddha, Bodhisattvas. And yesterday I recitation is 2 minutes. It doesn't enlightenment me. I meditate this morning, I think is a lot, 3 seconds. I not become enlightenment. I don't think so. Dharma doesn't work with me. Then we need to give up. And what we need to? Maybe then we are changing. Sometimes become Hinduism, maybe more and more. Maybe Kundalini is a very excited man, and like this, and then become mad. Then this end of the life. Make joke. And then maybe become the different followed, but maybe not certainty. I'm not sure. Like this, but anyway, someone's death comes, they will die still as the deluded, as ever. Moreover, commerce involves all sorts of the negative actions. It's like the kind of the commerce involves business. And like kind of what you are selling things. Things is belonging yours. You want to sell it. People who have merchandise to sell. Belonging. Yesterday I have broken fridge. I had to take nice and to a little bit repair. And then I want to put internet, how much it cost. I can to get 500, no, 200, yeah. This is merchandise to want to sell it. However, shoddy, in realities, shoddy in realities. And maybe it is like kind of your things is awful, dirty, exhausted, very old, but you are a very sensitive person, clever, your things you taking care. You taking care, it looks like new, but already it is already old, already something. But you can like pray to saints, and reality like extol is the qualities. Reality maybe it is like old, exhaust, but like kind of the extolled quality, say this was very good, it's a best brand, best things, whatever way, so ways they can think up, want to say something, many different ways. And also it's like they prepared before to sell. Am I okay? Yeah, you okay. And then it's telling to the gossip way, you know. See, what? They're telling to outright liars. This person, these things I have had long time, but now it's like I don't want to use anymore. It's very good if you buy. And to selling, try to. And such as how it is that potential buyers has already offered his much for that. And last time is my things and like the merchandise which is belonging mine. Someone has offered to me, maybe they offered €1, but or someone's offered to me 100,000. But I didn't sell. Maybe today, yeah, I can to sell it. Like this sort of. And this and that they offering, but I never sold. I'm just selling to you, okay, like this. Okay. Then it's like has the already offered like this and that and such much for AIDS, which they had refused because I didn't sell. And now you are good luck. My awful things you can to buy it, but they never say. Also they says how they originally bought it for this or that. Huge sums. And like a kind of, when I bought, I paid so much. Maybe you paid €1, but you lie, you says, I paid 1,000. Really? Oh yes. Reality, you pay €1. Now you sell €100. Like this ways to really is the huge sum. It's like kind of put high priors and a lot of exaggerations like this. That is the kind of the business way. Trying to buy something that is the already at the subject negotiations. And negotiate between two others peoples. And someone's like kind of, maybe it's like once has happened, I can to take example. I want to buy one things. I went to there, but this thing is one person's touching, and it almost looks like buying. Then it's like I'm going to between theirs quickly. Exactly like this. This person's like kind of the negotiating. But I want to get that one. And then go in there's, yeah, that's nice. Yeah. If you don't buy, I will buy. And the seller says, if you don't sell this person, you can sell me. I will price like put. Like this kind of, it's like kind of the betraying and what you need to get and to making the like kind of sowing discord. They're like the result to the slander, to the provoke and disagreement between this negotiating between owner and the other buyers, the two parties, to make problems. And then they use harsh words to insult. There is like competitors. Where is it? There is a kind of the competitions. If you are like kind of the selling the same camera, okay, I would say mouse, I'm taking the mouse. If nearby there's my shops, there's another electronic shop, they're selling like this same exactly company, Apple companies. But I want to say, they say, behind there is also shops that say, don't go to there, they cheat to you. There is most electronic, very artificial way, political way. Yeah, yes, you can go there, but last time I heard, there's many kind of, fake things. Take care. You can go if you don't buy mine, no problem. The mine is really original. Of course, you original, you got it. If you buy, I can make a discount, but you can go there. This sort of. And others things, a lot of to insult, to say is like bad things. And your things is like kind of a lot of. And then is like kind of exalt, depths, and like any kind of perspective you can to try to get money from the other people's, others' belongings. That is like kind of this, like during the business, it's almost all the 10 negative actions is kind of the, when we're doing the business, it's doing like this. Maybe not killing, maybe not something different. They indulge in a worthless chat. And it's like a kind of the very much happy set. and like shoes, favorite, indulge, and talking, and also it's like demanding ridiculous price or the haggling for things that they have no intention of the buying it, and sometimes put a lot of price. The things are not very good. Maybe someone has such a desire attachment, and they say, make jokes. My joke is not very good. What can I do? But it's like a kind of, when we make the business house, I want to say, one business person to make business about house. He bought one very cheap house, inside a lot of mushrooms, was very bad, but very cheap. And he bought these persons, and then kind of renovated artificially to put very nicely, and then it looks like nice. But of course, there's a lot of problem hiding things. And then it's like he want to sell, this again selling. And then buyers coming, I renovated, it's a good building, good things, look, it's a modern decorations, everything. And there's nothing problem, you can't look. Of course, the buyers cannot break. And sometimes they're knocking, everything's. And then this person's okay to buy, to bought, and very much cheated. That means it's like it is a kind of ridiculous price to put. And then the buyers think, I got the very valuable, okay, bought. But finally, a lot of problems. Like this kind of, that's what they say. And worthless things to put ridiculous price. Like kind of the Hagen, thinking that they have no intention of buying it. And also it's like someone means it's like dealing, buggling. And it's like maybe it's to provoke. Someone's maybe selling this mouse, and maybe it's really priced the 10 euros. Use like kind of the harsh word to say. That is also truth. I did many times. Your mouse is like this, it's just ugly, looks like old. I can give you 1 euro. Some owners become very angry, upset. How you can to say like this? But just kind of, if this person's angry, someone says, why you become angry? You making business? I make business. Once this kind of happened, I was so embarrassed. And this says, where are you come from? I say, come from Tibet. Of course, I'm proud. And Tibet people is like this. You can to get 1 euro and this amount, I can to give you 3 euro. I can buy everything from you. How you insulted my things? In Tibet, it's culture like this. I said, no, it's my problems. Like this. And also it's like some things, if you making haggling or the, it's like kind of the bugging and negotiate. It's to offer to the correct. Maybe it's good, then it's maybe okay. Sometimes it's like you just to make very much insult, intentionally, maybe you don't need to buy, but you put a lot of price down, and then it's people is very much upset. And also in Brussels, there's one American guy. He's selling, this cowboy's hat. And I went to theirs. I said, which is your most the expensive your hat? He said, this one. And I said, okay, nice. Because in Tibet, someone's asked to me. And okay, do you have discounts? And he don't say nothing. Are you Tibetans? I said, yes. Please go away. Why? Tibetan people, all the times they're boggling. They can't negotiate. I'm fed up now. Please don't come into my shops. I said, why you say like this? Because I don't want to sell you. Then I said, of course, Tibetan people is not same as you are rich. Whatever you put price, they cannot pay. You pay or not pay, go away. He was really almost beating me. And of course, I need to go out. And I thought, maybe that is also, it's like Sam's did. Maybe some people's going to there and to say, if 100 euros, then I can to pay 10 euros. It's awful. Like sometimes it's also like this kind of some people's really is in Tibet, sometimes they also make war, This kind of, you don't need to buy it, but it's the insult others think. Also, it's very harsh word. And like the envy and covet other people's position, try their best to be given themselves. And like kind of there is such envious, that person has like this, how I can to get. And also, of course, there is covetousness. And if I have, wonderful. And like this kind of many different like others positions to try to get in ourselves, like this. And this sort of during the business, a lot of kind of negative as occurring. They wish home on their competitions, waiting always to get the battle of themselves and better of themselves. All the times, and the kind of the wishing harm, and also it's like there's such a competition, and all the times to waiting for get the best yourself. And therefore it's almost and there is a sort of all the negative emotions. For example, if they trade in the livestock animals, you developed and you selling to them in the butchers. They are involved also in the killing things. So business, in fact, involved all of the 10 negative actions, accepted perhaps wrong view and sexual misconduct. And almost there's a true things is difficult. Otherwise, absolutely there is involved 10 negative actions. And therefore, it's like during the business also is very, how do you say, is negative things. Maybe this is more Patrul Rinpoche's emphasized to the monks, lamas, practitioners, and he more like kind of the details. For example, our like ordinary business, of course, may be better to be truthful, very important. Without making business, we cannot to survive. That's true. But so when we become practitioners, maybe it's like to really too serious to practice. For example, particularly if you're monk, nuns, and lamas, never you die by hunger. Never there's no problems. If you're serious honors to practice Dharma, surely no problem. I give you guarantee. But of course, artificially, pretendingly to practice Dharma, and then is of course maybe some problems. And really to practice Dharma, to become the Dharma practitioners, never die by hunger, thirsty, lack of things. And like this, therefore, then it's like a kind of the business activity is like this. Maybe now is the question time. Do you have any question? Okay, la.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Terence Sue asks, my wife asked me to cook fish today because she needs to have nutrition from doctor's advice. By knowing this is no difference from taking a life, I am in a dilemma. Please advise.
I already suggested to you yesterday, if you need to eat fish, maybe in the shop, already they killed, not for you. Already they killed, they selling. Then you can to buy, and you can to cook, to tell to your wife, not buy a live fish, never. And to buy then they cook dinner, it's okay, maybe. Then you can to pray your like a compassion recitation through your compassion, maybe benefit. It's okay. If you more practice Dharma, and maybe it's benefit for fish. If you more survive, become more long life, you can do more positive, bigger than this fish, then it's okay. But don't order to kill for you.
Thank you. We have one question from Rusico, Georgia. First, how can we neutralize the negative karma that has already appeared? 2. If we have some hidden karma connected to negative actions from the past, and there are no circumstances for it to appear now, how can we neutralize it in this life?
Okay, Rusiko. Maybe some negative karma result in this life, already maturated. Maybe it's need to be happy, bring into the path, to bear of that, and to, okay, maybe I did something in the negative dips in the past. Now as a result, I'm kind of purified. And also it's like your this negative result. Maybe it's unpleasant situations. Maybe this unpleasant situation you can make the virtues. And to say is like, may any kind of the sentient beings to never have in this kind of unpleasant situations. Now I'm taking these unpleasant situations, the representative, all other sentient beings, unpleasant situations. To think like this is generating bodhicitta. That is the kind of your purification, and that is like really bring into the path. And also it's like unpleasant situation is also purifications. The cause is matured, and then this cause is disappeared. It happened in this life or in the future lives. Maybe it's like the same. In this life is like maybe in the more important, because the human life is more important, and we are a little bit to have unpleasant situations. Maybe it's a kind of huge purifications. Maybe it will be in the animals or something. Maybe we have unpleasant situation, big problems, maturation. Maybe it's not very much purification. And like a kind of the same, like different medicines. Some medicine is antidote to purify the sickness very fast. Some must take slowly, like this. And also this is a kind of the resulted. The cause is like kind of the exhausted. And then is this situation bring into the positive path, and also this present situation is become the positive. That is very important. And also surely in the futures, and presently we have like kind of tendencies of the negative karma or negative tendencies. Of course, sometimes we're doing the negative things, and also in the future, so against coming to, but maybe as much as we can avoid negative activities, as much as we can to collect in the positive actions. And this one is like beginning, it's like kind of, it's a training process, but maybe slowly, maybe we can to more grow up the positive actions, maybe slowly diminish the negative action. Then in the futures, maybe in this life, maybe next life, maybe in the future life, getting better, maybe better thing like this.
Thank you. I have one question regarding the last paragraph we were reading yesterday, which you explained a little bit, and I wish for you to clarify. When we talked, each person gets the whole karmic result of killing one animal. We should understand this as the part of the role we played in the act of killing the animal, not the whole result.
Yeah, not whole. No, when you say the whole means is, after there is the pattern which as he mentioned, if you killers, you need repayment. There says 500 times you need to repay and to give back to the killer. This one you cannot to share. But some influence of this involvement, each individual, they got it like this. But the one is part, it's the repayment of the life taking. And this one is like only the slaughter. Therefore, I'm saying this whole is each individual person. The whole is, I'm a little bit doubt, okay? But I think is this the Lopan says it's okay. You should to say. Okay, no question. Okay. Now it's like very good. And also I send it to you, Sondo Pari Malam, okay, love? This morning I send it, Sondo Pari Malam. Everybody has text. But I sent it this morning. Oh yeah, good. Huh? This morning I sent it to in the ZPI group, okay? Sunom de tam chini pa dana pam ye de she ga nan che wala ban trip. Sepun sole drogan dorba sho maung ben zangar pe ma sa de hong rong yang nan dar lo der ni mi ba sa dong ka me te tong long ku zel. Tru ku xin ka ma je ko po cha song do par je ro wo xie wa ra. Zang li sa ya te ba to je de tu sam jar bu chun ko kor bu ni te ya na xio nga ya wa long ku le song do par je ro wo xie wa ra xiu. Ko pa lan zhe zi ti san zang po ca wa di jian zhong bu to de ji. Ke pa lu me kan zhu cong kuru ko zi mo zu kama sam ten nyo pa ti. Song do par je ro wo xie wa ra xiu ro je re te ye zi mo yar me kong. Xiar xie lo xiu ang ban zhe ya na xiu pe ra xiong xiong zhe. Xia nang pan me song ta wang yun do song do par je ro wo xie wa ra xiu. Cham dong chen chen lom bar jia rin qiao do na pa ge zha ba zha xie tong. Shaban da ya go jin ta bu chen chun ko du tong da zang tao zo pa song do par je ro bo xie wa ra xiao pa song juan be xin dong de zi chi ne xin men jiong zhe song te pe chuo zhong song ren zang xia so zha ma zhe te si men qu je zha dong da le ye er song do par je ro bo xie wa ra xiao Porong yarmi chenbu te wala ranchen serje pe manya di ting Dehe kundu rong yong pe man jong kasmarin du jazir long nai Robo ye wara sho kong ko sab sar de chen ye hi zal Tong nye ni je xar wa jan che le xiu chi kong dong che par po yer ta 这吧些哇，吵架了半面街，上头把这儿不些玩儿笑，一节站那家不认真啊，我事多记着我讲司令，人家站那跑步伴着那，些这样都着领去这玩儿。上头把这儿不些玩儿笑，他可把什肩膀年啊到。 这不得等，这不轻巧那，才不人跟靠老拉学习。月面刚不世界都云长，上到八节这不些不是。小心上街这亲半千么干，把我这个拉动拉门根。多几那个人民吃大不要，小龙上不就真的不是。 上到八节这不些不是小，天天啷个也没工资呢。 上那北满地单修啦，长不经过上面可几。那头把桥扎登塔巴些，上头把节日不些把儿修，得等去个先看两个儿吧，一弄也些年不干的。 本考拉大学的那顿课工把娘不成领巾，上头把节日不些把儿修，过一干年节不钱不要。 小农上不拉上的节干，婆娘俺你们得当事人的，当天演出把大家俺当上到把节日不些把儿修。 得大心给过把事的把你，小儿也就上到把儿了。 一见那个人被忙的头，让你们接心给过不弄，让侬上到把人俺把人小，切不是写着三门单着就，咱生活人的把住你讲，你上到把里跑上。 但些也些罗不咋做呢？让人搬家接当家吧修，抽用通干嘛来啷个把那个呢上干的这边。 这里多节太不三九年，切不我是做法钱不要，他们妈呀也是那么傻，下面路不俺的做那种，因被骂我的桌吧小，干的工不挣钱嘛做那，顺的忙忙找不偏把呀，那边去吧真特别香，别没跑呢。 跟开门，我是老本可是那种的，俺见啥到俺个那他到江北嘛，我的车不儿修，到河南把它当行中子，行了不通，就像这就是呢，做完全部的不许不修。 Sentient ne pa chenye pa nyerde ne le ta jerji drobo ne na ma le pa ta den jong a me par shu malam ta don den ba don song a di jen de pa don 看着什么拉索吧，年纪山东等日记，从东浪什么想拉着，伴在拉呀这些年节儿的，地里上把也养着把汤。 在人那面的些单板儿修，什么呢？修。 Nirarvi Guru Shinkansa Penton Deva Malu Jongvani Xian Ren Se Wang Tan Zeng Jian Tso Ya Xia Pi Sen Ti Par De Ten Jur Ji Pardon la mi que se ten bâton, canyon la déchet en bâton. Dans yé mal tso sa de bien ni, nyer de son jé salango par chou. Je vois quand yon dans la maton, jamais tu je pas la long chenille. Ça dans l'âme je yan ten razo te, d'ordien chonga compon nyer to chou. Karma rar marme ton yamara savar chevra. Malam loton tentava duji chuna te tar an benza sadu sa maya sarva siddham